So, how are you getting on with your fiber? What have you learned? What have you understood? What's making sense to you? Today, I want to bring back to you a reminder of yes, fiber is super important and it's really going to help you to get more energy in, but it's part of a bigger picture of looking after our health and balance. If we want to bring our body into that optimal state where it is working well, it is feeling good, you have the energy to do the things that you want to do, the balance comes between the ability to be able to give a little bit of yourself, a little bit of your resources to moving regularly, to ensuring that you're hydrated, to ensuring that you get some enough nutrition in, and that you get a balance of foods into your diet, that you're getting adequate sleep and you're finding ways and means to take time out to rest. This is how it works. Doing the fiber thing on its own won't work. So if you struggle to get the balance between all of these pieces, please do remember that I have a beautiful self-paced confident eating solution program there for you to just listen to work through in your own time over the next couple of weeks when life feels a little bit more calm during the summer months, and you can work through that at your own pace, and there's support there from me to help you understand the pieces along the way. So if this is the challenge, then rock on over there and grab that for yourself. If you want to stay learning about fiber, remembering we're talking about building using that fiber to support our body to prevent chronic long-term disease, to help manage our blood sugars and create more energy, even to help support us with our hormonal changes. The building the foundations is what it's all about. Eating enough, managing that lifestyle I spoke about just now, supporting our digestive system, which is really, really important. And that's why I talk about fiber so much. The foods that you put in there and the bacteria that reside down there, they need to be fed, and they don't like the same stuff that we do. So we got to think about how we feed them in. And then the basics of eating is protein, fats, and carbs. These are what we call sustaining meals. If you want to understand more about blood sugar balancing, then I suggest that you do go back into that, think about that confident eating solution program, because I do explain in detail how to support your body so that you don't go from these highs and lows. Well, let's just think about eating and food. And there's a couple of things that I want to say about this. And if there's one thing that I would love everyone to hear, and I mean really hear, is that there's no one right way of eating that holds the exclusive claim of health for everyone. There are guidelines about what to eat and how to live. But I think what's often forgotten about the diets that have been studied for health and longevity and well-being is how those people lived their lives. Yes, the Mediterranean diet, for example, is deadly, but how does the Spanish person live? They take afternoon naps. How does the Italian person live? They take long lunches. How does the Greek person live? They have simple foods that are unprocessed, and all of these support our digestive system, which supports our entire body, allowing us to digest well, spending more time in rest and digest so that we can be more energized and motivated to do the things that we love to do. So while the Mediterranean diet has a long list of health benefits, from heart health to brain health, and fiber has a long list of health benefits, it has to be, it's the how of eating as much as the what of eating that's really, really important. So a couple of things I wanted to draw your attention to is supporting your digestive system. Start by chewing your food and aiming to spend about 20 minutes eating. Yep, that means you're getting your food really reduced down to that applesauce consistency. Those bacteria down there, they don't like big globules of food, and your stomach doesn't like big globules of food to have to digest. So you do have to work on chewing your food. 2, eat meals that are sustaining rather than lots of small meals. The aim is to give you 3 to 5 hours worth of fuel in each meal. And when you include fiber in that, then you end up feeding those bacteria who take a long time to break down the food, and therefore they send a message back up to the brain and say, hey, actually, I'm not hungry. So it does impact your appetite when you eat more fiber. Carbs are our biggest source of energy, and yet so many people feed carbs. But look at this, just two examples. Here's carbs one way, here's carbs another way. We do not need to be afraid of carbs. You need it for your energy. Every day your brain wakes up for two things: safety, that feeling of safety, and fuel. If you do not feel safe around your food, then you're not going to digest it, and therefore those bacteria and all the fiber in the world that you're eating is not going to be supportive to your body either. So it's a bit of a complex process between working with the physical and the mental, but it's easy when you know how. The thing I want you to remember is that restrictive diets don't work. So fiber, we've talked about it, it impacts your gut bacteria, it helps manage your blood sugars, supporting the colon. And this is why you'll hear people talking more about plant-based foods. Think about it, years ago, past generations, they just had plant-based foods more. They didn't have the money to buy the foods. So the growing evidence is showing that fibre does support our digestion and reduce our risk of chronic diseases and other diseases like cancer. So we influence that by influencing the gut microbiota that live in your digestive system. And all carbs, like I mentioned in video one, are not equal, and all fibers are not equal. So we have different kinds. And we have the ones that are present in fruit and veg and oats and barley, and they influence our energy system. But the ones that really influence our microbiota and our microbiome are the non-digestible ones, called the insoluble ones, and they are things like bran and celery and whole grains and seeds. So this is why we harp on about them. But do you get enough of these in your diet? If you missed out on last week's video, remind yourself how much you need to be getting in. Have a little flip back and see where you are on that scale. Are you getting enough of the fibre into your diet? So what I want you to do is identify a meal that you, ignore this line here, I've just seen a typo, identify a meal that you are maybe not getting enough fiber in. And I want you to decide 3 or 4 options for that specific meal. Usually it's lunchtime for people that will take you zero energy or effort or creativity to add more fiber into. So I want you to stop after you've listened to this and remind yourself that you can do this. It's not complicated. Which meal do you not get enough fiber in? And I want you to identify 3 or 4 options for that meal time to get an extra bit of fiber into your diet. I've given you a list of fiber foods last week, so go back, pull them out and write it down. I cannot live with you, I cannot cook with you, but I can inspire you and motivate you and give you the reasons why you can do this for you. So I want you to be your own coach. You want more energy, you're going to have to breathe more, you can sleep more, move more, hydrate more. And the one piece that I'm coaching you on in this series is to get more fiber into your diet because it has oodles of benefits. So for now, I want you to remember that I am confident, that I can do it. This is enough. If I give a little piece of myself to all of these, it is enough for me to transform how I feel. And if you're stuck managing the balance of this, do remember that Confident Eating Solution program is there for you to do in your own time so that you can learn more how to get yourself into the headspace and the mindset so that you can take these actions consistently. This is not a 6-week change, this is a lifestyle change. And I will never lie to anyone. I will always say to you, it starts from baby steps and we keep on building and building and building. That's it from me.